Hello everybody, today's are going to be our final day of our Algebra 1-2 final review. Today we're going to be speaking about solving quadratic equations using the notorious quadratic formula. But once you break it up into parts, the quadratic formula is actually really simple. I have illustrated here that the quadratic formula is actually broken up into several parts that you might be familiar with. For the first one, which I have done in red, is negative b over 2a, and that is actually the equation or the formula for the axis of symmetry of quadratic quadratic equations. Sorry about that. And this also here, the one highlighted in blue, is going to be our discriminant. I've talked about the discriminant in many of my videos, especially I have one video dedicated to discriminant, and if you would check that out, if you're not unsure, that'd be great. So in order to do this quadratic formula, in order to solve using this formula, we need to identify the values here, which are b, a, and c, or a, b, and c, and we have to know where exactly it is. Here, b squared minus 4b plus 4 is equal to 0. Our a value is going to be the one closest to the left, which is going to be here in front of this b. We don't see anything here, but in reality, it's always going to be multiplied by 1. So there's always this invisible 1 here. I don't have enough space to write it down, but there's a 1 in front of this b. And so the a is going to be a 1, and the b is going to be the value right in front, or being multiplied by this second value, which is here, negative 4 and negative 4b. And so that's going to be a negative 4. And our c, which is barely legible, is going to be this 4 here, because the c is always going to be the one farthest to the right, if assembled correctly, of course. Right? And so now we're going to want to plug in these values into the formula, and so that we might be able to get the correct answer. So we'll follow this guideline. Negative b, well, our b here is going to be negative 4, so let's put the negative 4 inside this. And then we're also going to have b squared, so let's find b again, that's going to be negative 4. Our a, well, that's going to be 1, we've identified that, and our c is going to be 4. And our a again is going to be 1. Let's solve it a bit more here. So a negative times a negative, that's going to cancel out and become a positive. And so negative 1 times negative 4, that's going to be a positive 4. Plus minus the square root of 16 minus 16, which is 0. And already, since we have this discriminant part of the equation, we know that it's just going to be having just one solution, right? Because it's a 0. We have, if it's equal to 0, we're going to have one solution. If it's negative, we're going to have no solutions. If it is positive, we're going to have 2, right? And so it's going to be over 2 times 1. That wasn't written very good. That's equal to 2. And let me rewrite this in a more legible format. 4 plus minus 0, because we know that the square root of 0 is always 0, over 2, and then we're going to have to set up our cases, in which in this plus minus, we're going to have one case which is going to be addition, and the other case which is going to be subtraction. And so for our top, we're going to have the addition one, so 4 plus 0 over 2, that'll be 4 over 2, which is also going to be equal to 2 if you simplify it. And also subtraction, on the bottom, we're going to have 4 minus 0 over 2. That's going to be 4 over 2, which is equal to 2 as well. So like I said, we know that we only have one solution because of the discriminant here. And so that makes the quadratic formula really easy to understand. And if you are actually using this for your final reviews, I recommend that you take things step by step, as a man named Scott Young, I believe that's his name. He posted about holistic learning and a different type of learning. And the way you want to learn for finals, especially, is that you want to take things piece by piece and see if you can find the deeper meaning of things. You don't want to just memorize things. You want to understand it, put them in your own words, so that you may be able to memorize and understand them yourselves. I'll see you in the next one.